I'm a security guard. Yeah, I know the official title is security officer. What the hell ever, I like going by security guard instead. Not the point. So get this. I've been a security guard for going on 15 months, working mostly night shift. I'm a lot more seasoned, so to speak, than I was at the beginning. No. At the beginning I worked in a small town at a seasonal factory in a gatehouse that was about as big as 3 to 4 porta potties combined. A big window at the back and front with a door on the left and right side that were mostly glass. Now I mentioned the 2 windows and the 2 mostly glass doors because, as I said, I worked at night. And when the light in the gatehouse was on, bam! You could see me from the road, from the woods, from the lake. Didn't matter. Folks could see in. I couldn't really see out. It's not an ideal place that you want to be in, if you know what I mean. Didn't really help that it was sort of tucked back in the woods with a half-assed barbed wire fence around the plant. It just had a creepy enough feeling at night without anything going wrong, small town or not. The quiet could get you easily enough, if you let it. Anyway, let me get to the story. The phone rang one night. It wasn't common for me to get phone calls at night. Usually it was the factory manager / maintenance manager calling about wanting me to unlock the gates because of some routine something or other. But still, this was fairly rare. Still, it rang, and so I answered. "This is Security Officer Woodall speaking." All I got was silence. Not like a "the phone isn't working" silence, but that palpable silence. Someone's on the other end and they haven't said anything silence. Then click. They hang up. Fine, whatever. Wrong number. Probably. Could have been. Wouldn't have thought much of it, but a few minutes later, I get called again. "This is Security Officer Woodall speaking." Nothing. Just still that silence. That damn silence. "Hello, can I help you? Is there anything I can do for you?" Nothing. This person hadn't said a damn thing, but I know someone's there. I can hear just the faintest hints of them breathing. I don't know if it's creeping me out or pissing me off, but finally I hang up. I'm less than happy, but I like my job. I have to answer the phone regardless. "This is Security Officer Woodall speaking." I'm expecting silence or the manager, honestly, at this point.
"Why'd you hang up the phone? You shouldn't have done that."
Yeah, alright, it's gotten a voice. It was quiet but gravelly. It wasn't a child's voice or a teenager's, but a man's. A grown man's voice. But it was quiet, with a tone that was a mix between disdainful and scolding, telling me that I shouldn't have hung up. I'm not a small guy. I'm a good 6 foot tall, and at the time I was a lot heavier than I should have been. I'm still heavier than I should be, but then, damn. With that said, in my uniform, I even look a little bit intimidating. But there was something about this guy's voice that chilled me a little bit. "Yeah, why's that?" "Yeah, real smooth." Nothing. Not a damned word, at first. And then
"You'll see."
Before the phone got hung up. Needless to say, I went to my truck, I got my pistol, and I went back to my gatehouse before calling the cops. They couldn't find the guy, as the calls apparently came from a gas station's payphone up the road. This is a true story that happened to me a few years ago. I still get freaked out anytime I think about it, so let me share it. A few years ago, I was a supervisor for a security company. I worked in the patrol division. We would basically patrol various clients' properties through the night. We had business as well as residential. We also responded to calls from residents on the properties. Most were harmless, drunk, loud people, parties that get out of hand, etc. One night, I got a call about a suspicious person walking around some townhomes. This area is pretty quiet, surrounded by woods, and it was more middle class than most. After getting the notice, I arrive on property about 10 minutes later and drive to the area. I shut off my vehicle, leaving the orange light bar on, and take a look around. As I'm walking near the woods, I hear something walking not far from me. Now there are deer and other animals in those woods, but this one seemed to not only pace with me, but stop when I stopped. I shined my flashlight into the woods and did not see anything. Not finding anything unusual, I go back to my vehicle and write my report, just saying that it was probably kids messing around. I leave and go about my night. Around 2 hours later, we get another call. This time, the caller said someone was looking into their window, but could not give a description. I go back this time running with no lights on. I get out of my vehicle in a different area facing the woods. With the dome light disabled, I open the door, leaving it cracked, and proceed around the houses. Again, I did not find anything except a handprint on the window in question. I walked close to the woods on the way back to my vehicle. I was standing about 20 feet in front of my vehicle, but right by the woods. Suddenly, I hear a rough voice say,
Hey, come here.
Thinking it was a prank, I said, "All right, you had your fun, but you're scaring the residents. Come out and talk to me." Again, I heard from the woods,
No, you come here, and we will have some fun.
At this time, I am freaking out. It's dark. I'm alone, though the police are a phone call away. I tried to play it cool. I said, "Whatever, just stay off the property." I turned to go back when I hear someone in the woods moving. Then in a loud voice I hear,
Don't turn your back on me. I said get in here or you will pay.
That was it. I was 100% scared. I turned fast, drawing my 9mm. As I did, pointing it in my flashlight into the woods, saying, "If you show your face, I am going to shoot. I'm calling the police." I didn't get a response. I went back to my vehicle, turning on all the lights, headlight, spotlight, and light bar, all of them shining on the woods. I called the cops. We are well known and generally liked by the police, so it only takes a few minutes to respond. They have me wait while they check the woods. A few minutes later, one calls over to me to come to him. There, 40 feet into the woods, is a nightmare. There is a homemade hunting blind set up, a shovel, a tarp, and a shallow pit. The police never found the person, and no one had seen him after that near the property. I still don't know what to make of it. Was it a harmless prank? Or a killer waiting for me in those woods? The 2 calls that night were made from a prepaid cell phone. All the residents said that they never made the calls, so I assume it was him. I quit my job shortly after that. Not really a scary thing, just a post of creepy stuff at where I work. I'm security at a National Guard base, an Army Aviation Support Facility to be exact. It's where the medevac unit is stationed. Me and the other guards have all had creepy stuff happen. The most recent are 2 things that happened. The first, we have a new guy. I show up to relieve him at midnight and he tells me that he was patrolling by the rotor shop and he hears a loud bang, like something heavy falls. He enters the double doors to investigate and everything is fine. He was pretty much jumped by it and spooked. The second, tonight I was doing a security check in the main building. I was investigating the 2nd floor and everything seemed secure, so I went to patrol somewhere else. As I was walking to the stairwell, I heard about 10 feet behind me what sounded like walkie-talkie static. I was the only one in the whole building and it's dark, so I thought the other guard was toying with me. Then I realized there's no way because he had to watch the main gate and our radios don't make that sound. Needless to say, I clung to my sidearm and hopped out of there. It wasn't my radio because it was 10 feet behind me and distinct enough that it made me turn with my flashlight pointed toward the sound and my right hand on my firearm. It may be extreme, but remember, it is dark and to my knowledge I'm alone, so anyone snooping around besides security personnel isn't supposed to be there. In other words, they would have snuck in. Also, no sources for radio static nearby. 2nd floor is almost all office space, and it was shut down for the night.